Hi everyone. Still day 17. I've never vlogged twice in one day. It's just an example of the roller coaster of emotions with this process. So meet my friend that I'm really sick of having on my couch, which is my heating pad. I noticed this morning, it's day 17, it's just later in day 17. And I was fine just a short while ago while I was telling you about all the things that you need to buy or should buy or whatever. A heating pad, if you don't own one, is good for anyone who's had a biopsy. Like at first it's swollen and you use cold compresses to get the swelling down and help things heal. But over the past couple of days, I've had more pain again. So I reached out to my breast surgeon and told her that I was having more pain and if that was normal. And she asked to take a picture of my breast, or she asked if I could send her a picture. It's funny. You know, there's like people that send selfies of, you know, inappropriate pictures online and whatever, or like sexting or whatever. It's actually really hard to take a picture of the right angle of your boob. So I sent her a picture and she saw, like, you know, it's still black and blue. It's been, what was it, July 8th? I think is when I had the biopsies done, because July 9th is when they called. So it's been a while. It's been over 2 weeks, and she said it could take 2 to 3 weeks to heal. And I did all the right things. What I'm not doing, I don't knock over this in the meantime. What I'm not doing is this. See that? Yeah. I'm not doing enough of that. And that has nothing to do with cancer at all. That's just me not learning a life lesson after many experiences. I think I'll just keep this here as a reminder. I can't even do that because it hurts. I'm sick of it hurting. I'll go on my rant in just a minute. That really hurt, just stretching over to put the pillow there. So the doctor said that the bruising was normal. It really hurts right now. She said the bruising was normal and it looked like it was healing. But then I noticed this morning when I went to get dressed, I lifted my arm up to put my sports bra on, and the injection site where the smaller biopsy is, which is closer to my nipple, it was like indented a little. But that whole boob looks messed up. I mean, not messed up. It's got two like sort of scabs on it, which is normal from where the biopsy needles went in. You know, the bruising is getting better. It's getting lighter. I try not to touch it. I'm not as freaked out anymore about touching it because it doesn't overall hurt. It just reminds me that it's just totally abnormal right now in every way, plus one more now. And it pisses me off. So, yeah, I had that scoop, which I thought was just me getting more muscular. And I'm being repetitive if you've watched these before, but if any of you have watched all 17, God bless you. You can't even laugh. Like, you can't even get a good laugh in without having it hurt right now. And it sucks, because, like, when I'm on, I'm pretty funny. And it really, like, sucks when, like, it hurts to laugh. Because you're trying to get your mind off of stuff by laughing. Like, I had to shut South Park off because it was too funny. How messed up is that? It was funny and I was laughing so much. And I had to shut it off because it hurt because I was laughing so much. My gratitude real quick is that the Olympics are on right now. The Tokyo Olympics are on, and at least it's distracting to watch them, and it's not funny to watch the Olympics, but it hurts. So anyway, the injection site on the lower biopsy on my right side, the one that's closest to my nipple, which was also malignant, and it had the decalcification, or the calcification, which were just dead cancer cells, but was malignant. That one was like small. It was like a half a centimeter or something. But that site, when I lifted my arm this morning, had like an indent where the injection mark was. And like on the left side, you can see where the injection thing is, and it's just like any other scab, where like it heals over, it bruises. It bruises where they were picking on the inside and taking all the samples out, all the tissue samples out. But the actual thing is just like any other cut you would get, and it scabs over and then it heals and it's fine. But this one is almost like, Lord knows I haven't been picking at it. Ugh. I'm barely even touching my boobs more than I have to. But it's almost like white where the injection site is. But it's indented, which is weird. And then I'm like moving my arm around differently to see if it changes or something. But it's clearly an indentation right where the injection site is. So I took a picture of it, which was super awkward. It was like taking a selfie and going down, because if I took it this way, I wasn't getting the right angle to even see that there was an indentation. And I sent it to the breast surgeon, like what's today? Sunday, I think? Today's Sunday. I didn't expect her to get back to me until like the end of the day tomorrow. I didn't think it was anything like seriously bad. They're cutting it off anyway. Although it's still my skin, so I don't even actually know if that part will be saved or not. But she told me that I should be putting warm compresses on to get the bruising to heal a little bit more quickly and expedite things. Maybe it shouldn't be bruised at this point. And that makes me mad, like that I have to even put anything on it again. It's enough that I can't wear underwire bras. Like I have to wear these stupid sports bras every goddamn day. Sorry. Like I just want to put a regular bra on and like a flattering shirt and like go out. And it hurts that I can't, and my boob doesn't even fill the cup to put my old bra on, even if I wanted to. It hardly fit it before. But I thought it was just because I was getting older, and that's what happens with your boobs. I just, I'm a really smart person, and right now I just feel like, I hate to be self-deprecating, but I feel like an idiot right now for not having caught this stuff. Like, it just wasn't in my space at all to think that anything was wrong with my boobs. I've never had anything, and I don't get it. I mean, another hour or something after I breathe and the whole thing passes, I can think more reasonably, but you don't always think reasonably when you go through this shit. And I want this to be as real as possible, and I'm like, oh, whatever, I don't have to vlog everything, but you know what? Like, if you're going through this stuff, it's not all roses and sunshine, clearly. And if it comes across that way, because most of the time when I video, I'm thinking about other people and how I can help them, and I'm not thinking about myself. And I feel like that's what sparked this whole thing, was that I didn't focus enough on myself. Because I should have gotten the MRI way earlier than I did. And I had to get to a point where I'm not blaming myself for that. Because for all I know, this thing popped up 6 months ago. And if I had had the MRI, 3 years ago, or 2.5, it might not even have picked up anything. So the self-deprecating part of me is saying what I'm saying now, and the logical person in me says, like, it's almost sort of better that I waited. Because what if I had had it back then and nothing showed up? Although I guess that wouldn't have been the case, because I would have gone back to having mammograms like you're supposed to. You know, what if it didn't show up on a mammogram, and what if it was a higher stage, and why am I back in what ifs? But I'm mad, I'm annoyed. So you want to come on the ride with me? What I'm annoyed about? I'm annoyed that I've had these glasses forever, and like I put off, because I don't put myself first, I put off getting my new glasses. And granted, they told me they'd be in before my surgery. I should have gotten the glasses like probably 3 years ago. Also, Rational Jen says, you were doing all this personal development stuff, you know, all that time ago, and I was traveling, and I was like super empowered, and I know I needed to do that stuff for me. Oh, my son was graduating from high school back then. So, like, you know, there's just a lot of stuff. There's always a lot of stuff going on. And it's not because I'm a single mom. It's not because I'm a parent at all. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's just, you know, married people that work are busy. Married people that don't work are busy. Like, you just don't realize what's going to be important. And it can't be a hypochondriac either, that you think there's always something wrong with you. So what I'm annoyed about, I stopped playing tennis on Wednesday of last week because my arm hurts. And I'm like, well, that's that. I wanted to pack it all in before the surgery, but my body's telling me no. So I stopped. And it sucks because I want to play. And it hurts, so I stopped. And I went walking this morning instead. And it didn't hurt, which is great. Like, it doesn't hurt, right? Well, it hurt when I moved my arm, but right now it doesn't because it's hot or warm. I hate that I own a heating pad. I don't even remember when I got this to begin with. I think from a colposcopy I got like years ago. I don't even remember. But I remember my mom having a heating pad. Like when I was a kid, I remember her having a heating pad. And I'm like, well, that's just what old people have. And I'm probably the same age now that she was then, which would make me an old person. But I'm like, only old people have heating pads, you know? And here I am like, ooh, where's my heating pad? I don't want to have to need or buy a heating pad. Though to link onto the last vlog, if you don't have one, you should probably get a heating pad. I'm just annoyed. Oh, and the point, it does hurt. It's like little, it's not constant. I wasn't even doing anything just now and it started hurting. So I sent her the indentation thing, and she said to put warm compresses on it to get the bruising to heal faster. And then she said that when you have, I'm totally like not, I'm paraphrasing here because I can't look at my phone right now because my arm hurts to see what it says. But she said that the biopsy site, like where they do the injection, like it's not atypical for you to get like a dimple, because that's basically what it looks like, is a dimple. Not like a cute dimple, not like the kind of dimple. And I'm like, dimple. Like right now it hurts because I'm just getting too worked up. I don't want a dimple on my boob. It's like a cute dimple. Maybe if it was a different location, it'd be cute. And then I'm like, is that going to mess up surgery? Because it's right around where I think they're going to be doing the incision. And she said, like, if you do massage, it helps with that process to make the dimple go away. But then she said, don't massage it! Exclamation point. Doctors don't usually use exclamation points when they communicate through the gateway, in my experience. But she said not to massage it. I don't even know why. I'm not going to ask why. I'm not massaging my boob. If it were to help with something, that would be one thing. But if she says not to do it with an exclamation point, I'm not massaging my boob. And then I wonder, because there's like that cylindrical clip in there, the titanium marker. And I'm like, is that what's causing the dimple? Is that why that happens? Why is there a dimple? I'd like to YouTube it. But you know what? I really don't want to YouTube it. Like, I don't want to know all that information. Ignorance is bliss, right? Well, until you're that way for a couple of years and don't get your MRI when you're supposed to. It's not my fault. I know that. It's not. Shit happens. I get it. I can blame the pandemic for shutting stuff down, but what the hell are you gonna do? That's what I hate too. Okay, so let's follow along here. The dimple thing, this is what I'll do. I'm annoyed that, like, I'm so sick of being in this position, like on my couch with like crap underneath my arm to feel better and not be able to like move. Like, my dishes are half done. I just want to finish them so my sink is clear. That's something else to ask for, by the way. Tacking on to 17 is ask someone to do your dishes if you're on your own. I have a son, so he'll be doing dishes. But yeah, I don't know if the dimple is going to mess up something with surgery. I don't know if because there's a dimple there that they would need to do something different with my reconstruction. And I'm thinking way forward ahead here, which is not a good practice, but I need to get it out. So then I think, well, if that's going to mess up the skin now, because I have a dimple and I don't want to have a dimple, but that's my skin, and I don't want them cutting more because of the dimple, but does that mean I definitely can't have the same size boobs that I do? And like I said, I'm fine going down to cup size. I think it just wouldn't look normal on my build or proportional at all, or proportionate at all if I went down to like an A cup, because I'm just not a small person. But is that stupid dimple gonna affect what the outcome of my boobs are like? And yes, I'm thinking 20 steps ahead, and I get that makes no sense and is irrational. I don't really care right now because I need to get it off my chest. Literally, I need to get it off my chest. I'm just tired of it. I should have not looked at my phone. I saw that I got a message from the gateway, and I intentionally didn't look at it because I'm like, it's Sunday. Just cut me a break. I just want like one day where I'm not thinking about this at all. I thought it would bother me on my walk. Usually even when I play tennis, I wear 2 sports bras and like a tight thing like this to keep everything in place so they're not bouncing around. And it didn't hurt while I was walking. And I walked pretty far. I walked 5,000 steps. I was distracted because I walked with a friend, so I wasn't like noticing how many steps I was walking, but it was good to walk that far. But I'm just tired of it. Like, I don't want to have a heating pad on. I don't want my hand to be on my boob to like protect it, like it's bodyguard. I don't want to still be in pain from the biopsy like 2 weeks later. And getting worked up like that does not help with the pain either, because it just, I feel like, increases my blood flow, which only makes it hurt worse. I'm lighting a candle over there. I'd show you if I had 2 hands, but I don't. Well, I do, but they're not mobile. Like, I'm sick of lighting candles that smell nice to make me feel better. Like, I just want to go about like normal life. And yeah, we're ending the pandemic. Not really ending. We're, in air quotes, on the tail end of the pandemic. But there's this Delta variant now, and there's people that are vaccinated from COVID that are getting COVID even though they're vaccinated. Which vaccines aren't 100%, whatever. But like, you don't hear about people getting, I mean, some that choose not to get vaccinated, but you don't hear about someone like vaccinated from polio getting polio. And I'm like, I don't want to get sick, because if I get COVID, I'm in isolation for 10 days. I think it still is now. And that's going to screw up with my surgery. So I am back to wearing masks when I go outside. And then people look at you funny. And I truly don't give a crap, but like, I give a crap a little bit. I don't give a crap like 95% of the time. And I want to be just one of those people that walks around without their mask and doesn't end up getting sick. But that's just not realistic because you don't know. When I got COVID, I was smart about stuff and I got COVID anyway. And I really think that my immune system was down. That's part of why I got it. Because it was too busy fighting this crap. I guess I should be all the more happier that like my boobs are not making me happy. So please cut into them. Part of me wishes there's something you could take home. Like, like when you have a baby and some people take parts of the umbilical cord and you make it into like jewelry or something weird. Like, did you get something when you have your boob cut off? Can you take the evil tissue and like cut it into little shapes and make like, those people that are attached to each other that you cut out of paper? What do you get? I guess you get perky boobs. For what I'm understanding now, even if you get saline implants, like you're not ever done with the process. Like, they don't last. You have to have them replaced. It's like maintenance on a car. I thought like you go in, you have it done, and you're done. And sometimes that happens. I know someone who's had hers for 15 years and never had an issue and never had to go, I don't think, ever had to go back. But she didn't have breast cancer. She has implants, but not because of breast cancer. But that I know other people that are in several times. Like one person I know had breast cancer 8 or 9 years ago, and she's gotten it like 4 times because of stuff that had to get reconstructed. It's not one and done. I don't like frowning because then I get frown lines on my forehead. It just makes me mad. And however I come across, and I am not doing anything artificial in these videos. It is what it is. And when I find a moment where I'm like, oh, this would be helpful for people to know or whatever, or like now, I was looking back at my thumbnails and I'm like, it looks like things are so great all the time. And I'm doing well overall, but I have these moments like this where I'm like, I get my phone and I read the freaking thing from the gateway and I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't want to have to do anything else. I want to sit on the freaking couch and like watch the women's qualification for gymnastics and pay attention to that. And even that's messed up because she's on there right now wearing a mask. Like, where the heck did this whole coronavirus? I know where it came from, sort of. But like, it's just nuts. And I'll get political for a second. Like, I think politics and science, like, should not be something that, like, the world has to choose. Well, if you like one president, then you do one thing for people's lives, and if you do another, it doesn't make any sense. Like, people walk around not wearing masks because they're Trump supporters. Like, really? He's one man. You're putting all these people's lives at risk because you don't feel like wearing a mask? What about everybody else? You could be totally fine. And you can get someone else sick and then, like, I don't even know what number we're up to with how many deaths there have been from COVID. It's ridiculous. And if everyone would just do their part, like, it would just go away and we could reboot and start over. It's just like, I get it is what it is, but like, why can't just people do what's right for the greater good of everyone? How naive is that to ask? It's not naive. It's what I live for Pete's sake. Like, can't everyone just, like, do stuff for the greater good, Like, I'm vlogging. I'm tired. It is almost bedtime, so I did almost bedtime, like I'm 5. I did sleep okay last night. I think I got up at like 6 or something, which is good for me. Um, I'm annoyed. And what I do know is that Jason Stevenson does really good YouTube meditation and like sleep, like songs and like videos, whatever. And I usually go to sleep to that pretty well. I guess that's a tip for those of you, cancer or not. For me, I find the voice of an Australian man speaking very soothing. And I can't even say, I don't even know if I have really known any Australian men in life. But I know there's an app, and I don't want to use people's names because I don't want to be disrespectful. But there's an app that everyone's like, oh, do you use this app? It's so relaxing. And I'm like, I cannot stand the sound of her voice. It's just way too sing-songy for me, and it doesn't work for me. I relax more to male voices. I don't know why. And for some reason, like, not all male voices, because I've had some, celebrities that do things to help you sleep or whatever, or to meditate to. And I'm like, oh my God, they're so nasal. They're so nasally. And here I am, my nose stuffed up because I was crying. All right, I'm going to stop now. But I just wanted to share that because I'm annoyed. And it's not, it flips on a dime. And I acknowledge that I'm here and that I'm not going to stay like in this frame of mind either. I'm going to focus on the Olympics. There's a lot of very interesting games in the Olympics that I wasn't even aware were things. Like handball. I didn't know that was an Olympic sport. I didn't even know that was actually a sport. Anyway, swimming's coming on, so I'm going to pay attention. I hope they take their masks off to swim because that would slow them down significantly. I'm being sarcastic. All right. I asked for your well wishes from near and far that this pain goes away. And even though I can't massage the little dimple for it to go away, I just ask that you send some good energy my way to have that dimple just not be a thing and not something I have to worry about. All right. I'm not in the mood to do gratitude right now. I'll do it anyway. Turn it around. I'm grateful that I have a heating pad when I need it. Right now, I'm grateful for air conditioning because it's hot. And I am always grateful for the Olympics as I just find them cool. So there you go. 1, 2, 3. Wasn't that motivating? I'm doing the best I can. All right. I think I use my left hand because my right side hurts. Bye.